Last week we challenged ourselves to do 100 pull-ups every day, and that was a great success. After doing 700 pull-ups, my max reps went from 7 all the way up to 12, a huge jump. It also took me from looking like that to like this. And if you can't see a difference, well, that's because there isn't really one. But it was a success nonetheless. I set that challenge to push myself and get my motivation back for hitting the gym, and that worked well. But I did also want to look a lot better. I like where my pull-up progress is going, and I trust that continuing this for another week will improve my back gains and strength even more. So I'll leave this part of the routine as it is. But I need to do something more to improve how I look. So I've decided to up the stakes this week. I've taken a long hard look at my body and I think I know what needs to be done. There's a clear lack of muscle in this area here, so I need to do something about that. Now the obvious choice would be to add in push-ups to the mix. They utilise almost all of the remaining muscles in your upper body that the pull-up doesn't hit, and performing push-ups shouldn't impact my pull training too much. Doing push-ups would definitely help block my chest and triceps and start me on the way to where I'm trying to get to, so it's a good plan B. It's just not quite brutal enough. I know that I need to keep challenging myself as much as I can each week, so I'm going to up the difficulty even more. As it's my upper chest and shoulder area that's lacking the most, I'm going to add in 100 pike press-ups every single day. These combined with still doing 100 pull-ups each day are what's going to give me the best 7-day transformation you've ever seen. Okay, so this is my starting point. Fresh off the 100 pull-ups for 7 days. It's not bad at all, but I could really do with putting on some muscle, so let's see if we can force some growth this week. My back will be going through the same pain as last week, so I have faith that we can take our current max of 12 up even further, and make some nice gains in the process. And I'm expecting a good increase on my max pike press-ups this week, given what happened with the pull-ups over the last 7 days. So here's me doing my maximum set of pikes. I honestly thought I'd have no problem hitting 20 with these, but I could only manage 16. That's a bit disappointing, but it just means there's more room for improvement. Will I increase my max pull-ups and pike push-ups by the end of this week? Will I look and feel stronger after the next 1,400 bodyweight reps? Let's find out. Day 1. I started off the week with a structure I'm all too familiar with. Sets of 4 every 2.5 minutes. Because, well, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. This meant doing 22 more sets of pull-ups and 21 sets of pike push-ups to get to the 100 rep total. And I wanted to get it all finished in under an hour. So after those max rep sets, I jumped straight into the workout. I started off strong and my pull-ups felt good after having a full day to recover. The form was there and the mind-muscle connection was there too, with more control on the movement. My chest and shoulders felt fresh and strong, and I flew through the first 40 reps without any real struggle. I was confident I'd be able to get all of this done in under an hour, but at around 50 reps in, things took a turn for the worse. Every time I'd get into position for the pike press-ups, my head started throbbing and aching like crazy. It was like head rush, just with heavy pain rather than dizziness. I ended up doing the last 40 reps as standard push-ups on the bars, but even then my head was still squeezing my skull over and over and over again. Every time I pushed myself back up, it felt like my brain was going to explode. This really did impact my first attempt at this routine, so I didn't quite break the hour mark. But even with this somewhat major setback, I completed the first day in 1 hour, 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Not bad to be fair, and I'm glad I pushed through the pain. Now let's see what day 2 has to offer. Day 2. My only goal on day 2 was entirely just to finish the workout in a better time than day 1. I wanted to get it in under an hour, which I thought was reasonable. But this is 25 sets every 2.5 minutes, which means finishing in 62.5 minutes. So obviously at some point during this, I'm going to have to force out some extra reps. Last week, my second day was the worst one by far due to being so sore from not having done many pull-ups before. And again, I was aching like crazy after having done push-ups for the first time in a while. So I knew this was going to be challenging. Oh, by the way, we're doing push-ups the whole week now, as I still get these crazy headaches when I try pikes. After around 40 reps, I was starting to really feel the pain and lose strength. Up until this point, I'd had great control under the bar and my form had stayed consistent, but that was going to crash when this pain in my right elbow started up. Honestly, I'm a broken man. I pushed through to the end of the session, getting 4 reps most of the way, but dropping off for the last few sets. The push-ups actually became quite tough towards the end too. The finishing time was a sensational 59 minutes and 46 seconds, which breaks the 1 hour barrier. Nice. I really struggled to get those last 2 sets done, but we did it. A goal of mine for this week is to finish the workout in under 50 minutes. That would be pretty crazy. Day 3. Waking up on day 3, I felt like I'd been through a war. I was in pain. My back, my chest, my arms, my core, everything was aching a lot. I had to try and ignore the pain and tell myself that it just meant I'm making progress and that I'm working harder than I've worked in a while. I knew there was no way I could get close to my max reps today, so again I focused on beating the previous best time. This was going to be a real challenge, as the pain in my upper body was there to hold me back and make things even harder today than it was on day 2. But the whole point of me challenging myself in the first place was to set and achieve difficult goals to increase my motivation and drive, so I gave it my best effort anyway. By the halfway point, I couldn't even manage 4 in a row anymore. It was getting extremely tough on my body and my muscles were pretty much all spent. To make things worse, my hands were back to being too sore to grip the bar properly. Luckily, I'm built different, bro, so I was able to find the extra energy needed to come through with a new best time of 59 minutes and 13 seconds. A further 33 seconds faster than the previous day. I'm still not really sure how I managed to do that. Day 4. By day 4, it was clear to me that I needed some time to recover. My body just can't handle this kind of training after being so inactive for the last few months. I felt weak, and I think the last 300 reps of pull-ups and push-ups had really drained all the energy I had left. I could only manage a max set of 8 at the start of this workout, 4 less than my best ever set, which left me frustrated and disappointed. I even tried to do some pike press-ups, but after only 4 reps the headache started coming on fast, so I had to move back to push-ups again. I know I should be resting and recovering in order to actually make progress and gains, but my number one goal first and foremost is to challenge myself and push through my mental barriers. I'm trying to gain my motivation back and look and feel better than ever. And on day 4, the best move that I could make was to try and beat my best time once again, even while being completely exhausted. The sets of 4 were being completed surprisingly well with actually respectable form given the circumstances. I kept tunnel vision on the goal and actually impressed myself, especially towards the end when I really had to push through. The 100 reps of push-ups and pull-ups was completed in 59 minutes and 3 seconds. That's another 10 seconds faster than day 3. I was really happy with this progress, but there's still 3 days left to see what effect this workout routine will have on my motivation, my body and my max reps. Day 5. All I've written in my notes for this day is, felt like crap but still pushed through. After failing to get anywhere near my max yesterday and still feeling incredibly weak, I opted to miss the max rep test again today. I definitely started coming down with something and I could feel that getting to me. My nose was runny and itchy and I was constantly sneezing. This was definitely my body's way of telling me to chill out and stop torturing it so much. But I obviously didn't listen and I proceeded to get on after the workout. I felt horrible, but all I had to focus on was completing each set in front of me, one by one, and then maybe I could keep up with my previous times. I was so focused on getting the job done that I almost didn't realise the workout was coming to an end, so I had to squeeze out the last 2 sets together. Where there's a will, there's a way, and somehow I was able to get another new best time of 58 minutes and 35 seconds. 27 seconds faster than last time. I didn't actually realise this in the moment, as you can see. I was just happy to be finished and be able to lie down. Day 6. Well, the time has come. 5 days is officially all I could handle, as when I woke up on day 6 I was extremely unwell. I woke up with these cold and flu-like symptoms where I couldn't stop sneezing and sweating, so I just made the decision to give it a rest for 1 day. And that turned out to be the best choice I'd make all week. When I came back into the gym the next day, I was feeling much stronger and a hell of a lot more fresh. It was time to up the levels now too. Long gone are the days of sets of 4 all the way up to 100. No. Now it's time to make way for the new and improved system. My all new and improved workout routine is as follows. We are now going to be performing not 4, but 5 reps every 2.5 minutes. I know, I'm a genius. I don't know how I come up with such remarkable ideas. As you just saw, I was able to get a max set of 12. Again, I just can't get 13. But hopefully we can hit it after this week is over. I then did another 8 reps of each exercise to leave an even 16 sets left to finish the 100. My energy stayed high and my form didn't suffer too much too quickly. And this method was a great success as I absolutely smoked my previous best time. By forcing my muscles to work that bit harder today, I was able to finish in 46 minutes and 4 seconds. That's 13 minutes faster than my previous best. I guess I really did need that break after all. Day 7. The final day. After yesterday's success, I was ready to achieve something great today. I've managed to improve my time every single day so far, even when I've been exhausted and broken, so I had to do it again today. I got on with the max reps knowing I wouldn't be able to break 12, but I thought I'd give it a try. Unfortunately, I could only manage 10. I was feeling weaker than usual, so it wasn't looking good for another day of improvement. But if I wasn't able to get my max reps, then the only thing left to do was to beat the new best time, and I knew how I was going to do it. You guessed it, sets of 5 every 2.5 minutes. Again. In hindsight, I should have done my sets every 2 minutes and 20 seconds to cut down the time, but I decided I'd try and squeeze in the last sets together at the end again. Let's see how that decision pans out for us. I was losing control of my form relatively quickly during this workout, and my muscles were fatiguing fast. Lots of things haven't really gone right this week, so I really just wanted to finish on a high note. I grinded through set after set, sometimes having to pause halfway to gain back the energy to continue. but I couldn't help but notice the clock was ticking. When I had just 2 sets left, it suddenly occurred to me that I needed to get them both done over the next 2 minutes or I wasn't going to beat the time. I pushed through and gave it literally everything I had, and I managed to stop the timer right on 45 minutes and 36 seconds. Just under 30 seconds faster than last time. But it's not over. You see, I started timing the workout a little bit late, and I was thinking it was around 25 seconds, so I needed to look back at the footage. As you can see here, the time between doing my first pull-up and starting the timer was actually 43 seconds, resulting in a final time of 46 minutes and 19 seconds. Just 15 seconds slower than my day 6. I was absolutely devastated. The results. It was a disappointing end to the week, but honestly, I'm just extremely proud of myself for getting through it. This was considerably harder than doing just the pull-ups each day, and it taught me a lot about what my body's capable of, and how important recovery can be to your training. So, what happened to my max reps? Well, we obviously didn't train pike push-ups this week, and we didn't take a max rep starting point for the regular push-ups either, but I like to think I built up a nice base layer of push strength for what's coming up next week. In week 1, doing 100 pull-ups a day only, I was able to increase my max reps by over 50% from 7 to 12 reps. And so far this week, I haven't been able to go above that 12 rep mark. Well, let's see if another 700 pull-ups was able to take us to 13 reps. Boom! That's right, I almost can't believe it. That 13th rep is finally mine, and you can see how much I wanted that. If we take a close look at this specific frame, you can see that my chin did in fact go over the bar. That counts as a rep no matter how funny and ugly looking it is. Now, at the start of the video, I promised you the best 7-day body transformation you've ever seen on YouTube, and I'm here to deliver. As you can see, I've made tremendous gains. As you can see, my body looks more or less exactly the same, again. But you will start to see over the next couple of videos just how I look compared to my first couple of weeks of doing this. I do think there's some slight improvement in the size of my arms, and the same with my chest too, but I can't expect much from a week's worth of exercise. One thing to note is that I've been eating a ton of food this week. My diet has been fairly clean, but my appetite hasn't given in. I think the one benefit to doing all these reps is really just getting in the practice. The more you do something, the more likely you are to get good at it. So even if it's only 60 good reps out of every 100, it's still 60 more good reps than most people are doing. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more weekly challenges, then don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Next week's challenge will be taking things to that next level for sure.